Mm-hmm. Oh, he said no to the recording and kicked himself out, didn't he? He did that before.
Probably. Yes, he did. Just to see what
So
it would
no,
do. And it kicked
he
him
did
out
it
immediately.
again. He did it again. Well, here we are.
Yes, yes. I think I've got a new opening line that I'm going to steal from this movie.
You used to have an opening line for this movie, didn't you? Or was it Bill that was supposed to have it?
It was just the You Believe in podcast. Yes.
TV and podcast, yes.
Yes. But I'm going to use a different one because I feel like that one's
Oh,
going to be our quote of the mountain.
quote of the mountain.
Quote mountain, quote of the movie. Yes.
Quote mountain.
I didn't do that, did I?
Yeah, you did. You canceled yourself.
No, you canceled me.
No, I didn't fucking do it. What are you talking about? You definitely did. You said I don't want to be live streamed. You've done this several times. It's a bit.
This time it wasn't. If I did it, it was by accident this time. This is not a bit.
This is a bit. How many pop collars are under that jersey right now? Several pop collars.
I think 0 today.
Oh,
it looks like more than 0.
It's because I got a big hoodie under there.
It's very thick.
Oh, okay.
It's a very thick thing. All right. Welcome to White Ben Can't Pod. I'm your host, Ryan. I'm here with a USA legend, Bill Cash.
Do you believe in podcasts? Yes. You should use that. That's a good one, right?
Great job. Great job by you. Dynamite dropping. I'm also here with my other co-host. It's Wally Fuller.
You think you can podcast on talent alone? Gentlemen, you don't have enough talent to podcast on talent alone.
That's true.
Yeah.
You're right. Yep. Good point, Coach.
That's why I felt it was very, very prudent for our podcast. Yes.
Good job, Coach. We're doing Miracle. Woo. Miracle came up. The true story of Herb Brooks, the player turned coach who led the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team to victory over the seemingly invincible Soviet squad.
Yes.
How did you first see Miracle?
Wait, hold on. I'd like to introduce a new segment before we jump in.
A new segment. I like it.
Great. I will have to come up with the name for it later, but I had two things from a discussion.
A segment to be named later?
Week. Yes.
A segment to be named later?
Two things last week we discussed in the replacements.
Okay.
We were talking about when they were holding out for $5 million.
Yes.
Yeah.
The average NFL salary is about $2.7 million now, average. Although the median is closer to $1 million, because there's a lot of dudes that don't make a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then quarterbacks that average like 22 million or something like that.
That's insane.
Okay. The other one we were talking about was if Keanu came up playing football or not.
Right.
Because they talked about how, I think you said, Wally, that he had a tryout or something.
Sure.
Yes. We
with the Ravens, right?
So apparently he did not play football because he's Canadian, and they don't do that in Canada growing up.
No, they play hockey.
But when he was playing, when he was filming Point Break, where we talked about he also plays a quarterback from Ohio State.
Oh, yep.
He went and he was getting coached up on how to play. So according to quarterback coach TJ Rubley, truth be told, when Keanu was done, he could drop back. He could throw just about every throw on the route tree. He probably would have been recruited by Division II or Division III schools out of high school. So apparently very quickly, he actually picked up how to be a quarterback.
Oh, you know what? That's interesting.
Yeah, he seems like an athletic guy, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
You can do the karate.
I know Kung Fu.
I also discovered another movie that he's in that we might have to watch at some point.
Another sports movie that he's in?
He's in an old hockey movie.
No way.
Yeah.
Huh.
John Wick. I love it. All right.
Yes.
How did you first see this movie?
I'm fairly sure that I saw it when it was on Netflix. Not the get it through the mail Netflix, but like when it was actually, started streaming stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know that I've ever seen the whole thing before.
I have never seen it. I had never seen it.
I thought I had, and I'd seen parts of it for sure, but there was a lot of scenes I didn't remember, which makes me think I watched it on TV and just like saw parts of it.
Yeah, there was nothing that I didn't remember. So that makes me believe that I actually sat down and watched the whole thing at one point. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Wally, you're in charge of this episode, so you can take the reins on all the games. I have not looked it up this time. Definitely haven't looked it up.
I don't
Not
like the sound
cheating.
of that.
Not cheating at all.
I feel like that's lying to us right now.
I have not cheated at all. What are you talking about?
Oh. All right. Well, let's start with we'll go through the breakdown then. So Miracle, it has a very long credit scene at the very beginning. Like it was like 5 minutes long of credits before getting into the actual movie.
Okay.
So Kurt Russell is playing Herb Brooks, who's a college coach for Minnesota, I believe. And he's in a meeting with the heads of U.S. Hockey about hopefully becoming the head coach of the team a couple months before the Olympics start. He's putting out some ideas that they're like, oh, that's not how we do things. But he's like, well, that's why we keep losing. So just let me do my thing, and we'll actually stand a chance to look good. He goes home, and then his wife tells him to put on a costume for a costume party that they're having. During the party, he gets a call from the USOC, and they tell him that he got the job, and he's got 2 weeks to get ready for tryouts. We get to tryouts, and we meet some of the main guys who will eventually, make the team. Because why bother introducing people who aren't going to make the team?
Especially since he cuts most of them before the end of the first day. Like the people he doesn't want.
Exactly.
Are we forgetting something? Are we forgetting the box office game?
Oh, well, I didn't look it up yet, so
okay.
You're
going to bring it in later? Bring it in later?
Yeah, we'll bring it in later. So Herb is up in the announcer's box watching everybody try out. When Biff Tannen comes in, right? This is Biff from Back to the Future?
No, this is not Biff.
This is not Biff.
No,
to me, it looks exactly like Biff.
Noah Emmerich, who's from Walking Dead.
Really?
Walking Dead and The Truman Show.
Oh, I think I recognize him from Truman Show.
Best friend in Truman Show, and in Walking Dead, he plays Edwin Jenner.
That's what I know
think
from.
Is like one of the people on the farm. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember exactly what.
He's not Biff, though? He looks so much like Biff.
He is not Biff.
Huh. Well, that's a disappointment because I call him Biff throughout the entire
You're going to have to fix that.
Yeah.
Biff?
What's his actual character name? Craig?
Craig's the goalie. Actually, no. He's
Craig's
Coach Craig.
name.
Yeah, Craig Patrick. You're right. His first name is Craig.
Craig.
All right. So Craig comes in, and Herb already has his roster set, even though it's like 2 hours into the first day.
Tom Wilson plays Biff Tannen.
Okay.
Obviously.
Craig says that he doesn't even have some of the best players on this list, but Herb says he's not looking for the best players. He's looking for the right players.
That's you, Wally. That's how you fit into this podcast.
Yeah. The right players.
Yeah.
Not the best, but the right.
Not the best.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's definitely my role for when we were the wrestling podcast. That was definitely my role. So the end of the day, the team roster is announced to the players by Craig. And then after all the other guys leave, Herb introduces himself. He's going to be the hard-ass coach trying to find out the last 6 cuts that he has to make because he's keeping 26. He's got to get this squad down to 20. Do you call it a squad in hockey?
Do you call it a squad?
More team.
Team, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not really a squad.
Yeah. So do
The
outside
boys.
her
They'll just call it themselves the boys.
The
the
boys.
boys. Yeah.
I like
Outside.
how they call it the dressing room too, not the locker room.
Hmm.
Oh,
In
do
the
they?
dressing room. Yes.
Ah,
Well, in the same way that it's a soccer jersey is a kit, in hockey,
yes.
it's oftentimes a sweater.
Oh, definitely.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard anybody say like a hockey uniform,
Jersey
hockey
or
jersey,
sweater.
but sweater is definitely
Sweater.
yes.
Those things look warm. I've never had a hockey jersey. Are they warm?
Yeah, they're kind of warm. They're nowadays they're like the athletic stuff, but they're thicker than most jerseys.
Mm.
Yeah,
Call it sweaters because back in the day they legitimately were sweaters.
yeah. Well, I mean, you want to be warm while you're playing, so
But no, they're thicker than like a basketball jersey or a football jersey.
yeah. So outside after practice, Herb gets yelled at by one of the committee members, and Herb tells him that he knows these players inside and out. He's studied tape, he's watched them, he's talked to their coaches, all that stuff. That like it's not like he's just going out on a whim here. He knows these players.
Because he picked the team during tryouts day 1 instead of day 4 or whatever it
Yeah.
was that they were supposed to be there.
I mean, it seemed like he had the team before he even.
He didn't even watch practice, I think, right?
Yeah.
Craig is like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it seemed like he before his meeting with the USOC, he basically had his team ready.
They make Herb look like such a prick.
They really do.
They really
And
do.
and that was his like. He was not a nice, or not that he wasn't a nice guy, but that he wasn't like a nice coach, if you will. He wasn't a player's coach. But in this, he just looks like he's a bad human being.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like throughout the movie, he's got a lot of scenes with his wife, and he's just a dick to her in a lot of those scenes. And it's like, I feel like the reason for those scenes was to make him seem likable,
to make him human.
They did a bad job of that.
Didn't work. He did not seem likable.
No, he seemed hateable, very, very hateable.
But
anyways,
they were married forever.
Yeah, he tells the committee member that he picked players who can make an actual team instead of just like an all-star team, because he makes fun of the all-stars that got beat by the Soviets many times, the NHL all-stars.
Yeah, because that's a big thing. Is how can we have a bunch of amateurs beat if our NHL stars can't beat them? How can amateurs do it?
Yeah.
But also, why does this committee have so many expectations on this amateur team if they also say in the same sentence, we'll never beat Russia?
Yeah, they're like,
what the fuck? Let me pick my team then.
Yeah, they're like, we don't want to be embarrassed.
Yeah.
Well, he even said like, well, you lost 7-1 last time you played like Sweden or something like that. I don't think that can get more embarrassing. So the players are all at the bar and they're taking a test, like a handwritten test, because Herb wants all of them to take this test so he can learn stuff about him. And then we get a little bit of backstory about the 76 college championship, because there's some bad blood between some of the players. It seems like McClanahan cheap shotted OC during the championship, and it caused him to miss it, and caused him to miss his then he lost the championship because of that. So the next day at practice, OC cheap shots McClanahan and they fight.
He just lets them go too.
Yeah, Herb lets them fight until they fall to the ice. Then he tells them to leave that shit behind because they got to focus on becoming a team. And then he asks, like, he goes around asking players who they are and who they play for, or where they're from and who they play for. And my favorite is Cox goes, I'm Brian Cox and I'm from wherever's not going to get me hit.
I hope you stick around there, Cox.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
So Herb shows up at the goalie's door. His name is Jim Craig. Mm-hmm. And he asks Jim why he wouldn't take the test. Herb doesn't like Jim's answer, so he walks away. Jim follows him outside and tells him why he's trying to play. It's because his mom passed away, and like this was her dream for him to play on the U.S. national team.
Earlier in the movie, when he's picking his team, it's Jim Craig and then his goalie from college, like the guy that he recruited and coached.
Yeah.
And he's saying he wants his guy to back up Craig. And the assistant or whoever goes like, he hasn't been the same since his mom died. And he said like, yeah, but has anybody seen him play before his mom died?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
that's built right into the story is the death of his mom.
Yeah. I'm trying to look. The next scene we get Craig and the doc sitting in a car in traffic because they're waiting to get gas, it looks like. Because this is back when gas was ridiculously like back in the 80s. Obviously.
This
79.
movie
This is 79.
has like a whole history lesson at the beginning, some of which has almost nothing to do with the team at all, but
it's just where the world was at.
Yeah.
I think they're trying
like a
to
whole thing. Paint that picture.
Trying to paint the picture of how like the America was at the time, like all of America, like everybody's I don't know, on hard times kind of. So they're sitting there talking about the world and about Herb. And Doc's like, well, Herb never does anything without a reason. So Herb's watching film and his wife is trying to have a conversation with him. And he's a dick to her, and she tells him to go back to the film. He finds an old photo of his 1960 U.S. hockey team and then goes and explains his obsession with coaching the team to his wife. And she seems to accept it, kind of.
Basically, he needs it because he didn't get a chance with the 60 squad, the 1960 U.S. Olympic team.
Yeah. Next practice, he has this team skating suicides, and they got to do them in less than 45 seconds. Then we got a montage.
Suck. I mean, suicides in basketball suck, but oh my God, hockey suicides must be so much worse.
It just would wreck your legs and your feet, especially.
We got a montage of them practicing, intercut with him asking the players who they are and who they play for. They just keep answering, who they are and the college that they play for. Herb and Craig talk to three of the guys in his office, and they call them the Coneheads, and they're going to keep them all in the same line. Yeah.
I assume this was real.
It's a Conehead line because of like they're weird like the Coneheads.
Yeah, I didn't understand why they specifically
I think so. I think there are three weirdos.
Yeah. I did like how like
their style of play was alien. I just saw.
Their style of play was alien.
Yeah. They're answering Herb's questions and they're like finishing each other's sentences too.
Like that conversation that he has with them when they all come in and he's like, y'all gonna play together in the same line? Like, all right. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah, we get it. We get each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
Pass, shoot, score.
That's like their major line of the movie too.
I honestly don't even know what their names were. I think one was Buzz, and that's all I got.
Yeah.
Not Biff.
Yes, one was Craig. It was Mark, John, and Buzz was one of them.
Buzz.
Craig asked Herb if it's a good idea to keep pushing the team as hard as he's been doing. He says they can take it. They've got an exhibition game in Norway, and it's 5 months before the Olympics start. During the game, the players are on the bench talking about all the girls in the stands. The game ends in a tie, and Herb tells Craig to get a whistle and stop the players from getting off the ice. Yeah, he's not happy because they just tied Norway. Oof. I mean, that doesn't seem like a terrible.
Yeah, right. Shouldn't Norway be good at hockey?
But not if you're going to compete with Russia. They're not.
Okay, I see. So he has them Herb has them line up on the goal line as spectators are leaving. He tells them they don't have enough talent.
He's got that look. God damn. I've seen that coach look before.
Oh yeah. He tells them they don't have enough talent to win on talent alone. So he has Craig blow the whistle to make him skate suicides.
Yeah, I feel like this is a weird power move where he's making the coach who doesn't want to do it be the one to blow the whistle.
Yep.
I mean, I remember playing sports, and there was you need that assistant coach who can be your friend.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. The good cop.
You need the good cop, and I think that made sense. But also, like, I was also part of a team where the good cop became the coach, and it didn't work at all. It was just a mess. Nobody took the person seriously because he was the good cop all the time. So I get the strategy.
Yeah. So every time Herb wants him to go, he says again, and Craig just keeps like hesitantly trying to blow the whistle. Yeah. Doc tells Herb that the rink manager wants to go home. He says, "Well, give me the keys. I'll lock up for him." So the manager goes and turns the lights off. The guys think they're done, but Herb keeps sending them anyways.
Send them.
Yep. Doc and Craig keep trying to intervene, but Herb wants them on the line again and again. Finally, Eruzione yells his name out of like nowhere, and he says where he's from. And he just like lets it hang. And Herb goes, "Who do you play for?" And he says, "I play for the United States of America." And that's exactly what Herb wants to hear. So he tells him good night and he walks away.
Like a real captain.
What a captain.
Yep.
I mean, if you save the day like that on sprints, you are the captain, baby. I'll follow you into any battle. Exactly. Thank you.
Herb's on the phone with his wife while they're stuck at an airport because they hit a moose. With the airplane, they hit a moose. What a fucking story that is.
Yeah, I didn't look into that one, but that's probably true. I can see it.
I love how he's like, yeah, the moose is fine. An airplane hit a moose and it's fine? I saw it walk off into the woods. No, you didn't.
It walked up to die.
Do you have any idea how big moose are, though?
I've never seen one in real life.
It was, but like that was not a big plane. It was probably like the size of the plane. Like
it had to be going fast to get up in the air.
Yeah, but
can a plane kill a moose? Google that.
I mean, I've got stuff to do. I think that's a job for you to do.
I'm busy. I got a rundown to do. I got an Olympics to get to. We're not even there yet.
Oh my god, this that's another thing. This movie was so long. I was not expecting
it. It was so long, Molly. Oh my god.
We finally get to the Olympics, and I'm like, all right, sweet, we're almost done. And we got 40 more minutes after they finally get to the Olympics.
I like how like the early part of the Olympics are like 10 minutes. The game is like 35 minutes. The game takes up most of the Olympics, which makes sense. Yeah. Even like after the game, they're like, whatever, we won.
Yeah, also they won the gold.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 2 games later or whatever, we won the gold medal.
Anyway, so while he's talking to his wife, he sees a news story about the Soviets beating the NHL All-Stars 6-0. So back at home, Herb has the team watch film on the Soviets. They look just dominant. It's crazy how good they are. Get the fuck in and shut up.
What are you, a Herb Brooks, right? You're Herb Brooks right now?
Yes.
Around these
cats a butthead. Where are you, little shit? All right. They've won 42 games in their last 42 games. They've won all 42 of their last 42 games. Herb wants the boys to attack the Soviets instead of staying back and defending. He says that's how you're going to win. Nobody ever plays their game and attacks them back. They just sit back and lose. Oh shit, then we got another montage of them practicing and the team getting a heck of a lot better. Then we find out that Herb has set up a game with the Soviets 3 days before the start of the Olympics.
Is this smart? Was this a genius move or was this just dumb?
I think it was, because
I think it's a good move.
You get shellacked like that. you have a feeling Rush is probably like, all right, well, if we face them again, it's going to be a cakewalk.
Hmm.
Um,
It's like when NFL division opponents face each other and then they face off in the playoffs. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
well, the team that lost has got a good chance of winning.
yeah. So I mean,
So he was trying to lose that game or get crushed. Is that what?
I think he's
is that
trying to
what you
show
think?
them how far they had to go.
yeah, that they still had like that they could skate with them a bit, but that they still like needed to improve and stuff like that.
Well, you'll remember something similar happened when the Giants played the Patriots in their undefeated season in the final game of the season,
Hmm.
then went on to beat them in the Super Bowl.
Why are you
Sounds like
upset
a-
about that?
Sounds like a Brady fan
Shitty.
sighing over there.
Why are
What
you
a
upset about
shitty
that?
Super Bowl that was. That was such a terrible Super
Why are
Super
you
Bowl.
mad about that? That was
Because neither team could win. Neither team could win.
the right team won. The right team won.
I don't think that's true.
The crypt keeper lost that one. He looks so weird now. Have you seen Tom Brady? How he looks? He looks awful.
No, I haven't.
He's like weird Skeletor skinny. You haven't? You haven't seen what Brady looks like now?
Not pictures, no. Why
Yeah,
would I
you're a
look at
skinny
pictures?
old version of Tom Brady.
Skinny weird old man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good. Well, he is 52 now, something like that.
Yeah. Yep. 52. Cooper Rush. Go Cooper Rush.
So one day at practice, the team is stretching beforehand when Herb has a new guy named Timmy Harrer come out to practice with them.
What a complete dick.
Yeah, the team does not like this. Yeah, this kid's playing college right now, and he's apparently like lighting up the collegiate game. He's scoring left and right, basically. So they bring him in. And we get another scene where Herb's a dick to his wife again. Don't remember what it was, but another practice, and Rizzo misses badly, and Herb tells him that he'll send him home if he doesn't start hitting the net, and he doesn't don't think he won't do it. He still has to cut 2 people now because they're down to, before Timmy came in, they were down to 21 guys. He still had to cut 1 guy. Timmy comes in, now he's got to cut 2 guys now, so not looking good. The next game, Timmy scores a pretty good goal. You gotta be kidding. This fucking cat. Timmy scores a goal, and when he gets back to the bench, Herb comes over to him and gives him some a pep talk and tells him good job and stuff like that. And
which is so annoying if you're the players on the team because he has never said that ever to anyone else.
Yeah. He's really amping up the jerk right here.
Yeah, I think this was another ploy though. I think this was
100%. 100%.
Yeah, he wanted to see if they're gonna accept this guy just because, or if they're gonna be no, we want to play with our guys.
What a mind fuck this guy is.
Yeah.
Herb Brooks fucking with people.
So before they go home, some of the team want to talk to Herb off the bus about Timmy coming in so late. They say it's not fair and that they're a family. Herb finally agrees with them, but he tells them as he's walking back, he's still got to cut 1 more person, so don't get, don't think you're safe still now. We get a Christmas party at Doc's house, and the team gives Craig a toy whistle, and then they give Herb a bullwhip and a desk nameplate that says Ayatollah. I like that.
What to think of him, yeah?
Yep. Then Herb drives home, and he's listening to a very idealistic speech from President Jimmy Carter on the radio while we watch the team play football in the snow because they're, a family. After practice in the locker room,
that seems like a bit of a problem. Your Olympic teams playing football outside in the snow.
Yeah.
Maybe don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't get hurt before the Olympics, guys.
No, we're still in late 79. It's fine to do things like that.
You can't ever get hurt. Oh boy.
Yep. So after practice, one of these days in the locker room, Craig walks in and he tells Cox that Herb wants to talk to him in his office.
No.
The rest of the guys had been chatting, and they see that, and everybody like hushes up and stops talking. They know what's coming.
Yep.
Cox goes to talk to Herb, and Herb says it's really tough. He wishes he could take him, but he's sending him home. Now they're in New York City 3 days before the opening games before the opening ceremony in Lake Placid, and they're playing the Soviets now. The game starts and the Soviets are in control, and they're just peppering Jim, the goalie, with shots over and over. They get an early goal, and then the narrator just voices over saying the Soviets score and score and shoot and score and shoot and score, and end up winning 10-3. We find out that OC gets injured during the game, and that's a problem because he could be out. If he needs surgery, he's done. If he doesn't need surgery, he could come back in like a week or two.
Yeah, which means if they don't make the medal round, he's out for the whole thing anyways.
Yeah, and it's pointless to bring him along.
Right.
So Herb tells Jim, the goalie, that he's sitting him because he hasn't given his goalie, his college goalie, a fair shot for the past 7 months, and he just got peppered 10-3. And the guy's like, that's my net. He's like, all right, well, you still haven't shown me that you're going to give me everything you got. So obviously Jim's pissed. We go to the 13th Olympic Winter Games in Lake Placid, New York. The team arrives by bus and they check in. Herb still has to make a decision about OC, but he finds Jim getting off the bus and he tells him that he's sticking with him.
Fucking with this goalie.
Yep.
Yeah. Herb sees OC standing on the ice on his crutches, and he goes over and he kind of baits him into thinking that he's going to send him home, but he decides he's sticking with him too. Yay.
Which is weird because don't Olympic squads now have reserves where you could just substitute a guy in and out?
Like a taxi, I think so.
Yeah, that's probably not like back then.
Not in the 80s, but yeah.
It's probably a newer thing, because I know like World Cup, we have to get our squad down to 23 right now.
Yeah, but aren't there reserves? If something happens, there's a couple reserves.
I think it's 23, and then you have 3 reserves.
Yeah. Right.
Because I'm thinking 26 as well. But this is all. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's.
This is a dangerous ass move to keep a dude who sprained an MCL or whatever.
Yeah, who at best can play like 3 games for you.
And he didn't do much. You didn't even do much in the Russian game, from what we can see. He does one thing. That's it.
Yeah, but it's a big thing.
He makes one big play.
Yeah.
That's all I needed.
We go to the first game. It's against Sweden with Al Michaels on the call,
who was the actual announcer. But we're getting modern Al Michaels. This is bizarre. Yeah. We're getting the modern Al Michaels calling the games.
So basically redoing his own calls.
Redoing it, yeah, and redoing it in bizarre-ish way. I mean, I love Al Michaels, but
it's got to be because they couldn't like get a good enough sound quality from those original games. It's got to be because of that.
But then they play with that later too. I mean,
they do have. You can find like the original video of this game. It's like not too old to find it, but yeah, I'm sure the quality's not great.
Of the Soviet game, I'm sure. Probably not a lot of.
But he calls the Soviet game as the modern Al Michaels with the modern guy who did it with him too. Yeah, because they show like the TV.
Yeah, until the very last 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's a little
the old audio.
I'm not sure how I feel about this.
I kind of like it. I like it makes sense to me. It's fine. Anyway, so during the Sweden game, McClanahan gets an upper leg injury. Herb asks Doc if he can play on it. Like if he plays on it, can he hurt it worse? And Doc's like, no, it's just going to be painful. It's going to hurt a lot. So Herb goes into the locker room and just basically calls McClanahan like a little bitch and suck it up and get out there and play.
What a dick.
Which
Yeah.
totally fires McClanahan up. He's ready to get back out there and play on one leg. So
He does.
perfect. He did what he did. He did what he needed to do. So we're going. It's 2-1 Sweden in the third period, late in the third period, and then the Conehead line comes out. Jimmy makes a big save before getting pulled out for the extra skater with 40 seconds left. Baker, who gets put on by Craig, and Herb is like, "Why'd you put Baker out there?" Baker ends up getting the puck with 2 seconds left. He shoots and he scores to tie it up as time expires. So he's
Can
like, "All right,
assistant
well,
coaches pull this off?
yeah, like it makes sense. Like Herb's kind of focusing on the offense. You gotta have your assistant coach focus on the D. Bill, is that how that works?"
How does this work in hockey?
Who's like making the call on that and the lines and stuff?
Can an assistant coach just be like, you go out there?
They can, yeah. I don't know. I think it varies by team. I don't really know who's the one that calls the lines, but yeah, you can have an assistant coach that, especially in specific situations, like at this time, or if you're looking for a specific thing. I don't know who actually would be doing it, but it could be an assistant. Like that would be something you'd kind of give them as like, this is what I need you to do.
Yeah. So Baker scores. They tie it up 2-2. And they
This is the
draw.
first gameplay thing I looked up because I thought like this has to be for the movie. Like they must have like tying
that Baker scores at the end,
but that they score at the very end of the game to save the game. No, they really did score the tying goal with 29 seconds on the clock or something like that. That really happened in their opening game.
Jesus. So then we got a bit of a voiceover of the USA beating Czechoslovakia, who's supposed to be the second best team in the world.
They really
Russia.
smoked them too. I checked that out.
Smoked them 7-3. We got a small highlight of USA over Norway and USA over Romania. I didn't catch the scores of those games, but it sounded like drubbings in both of them. And in between each of those highlights, the reporters keep asking Herb if they can talk to the players, but Herb won't let them. At one point, he tells the reporters say something like, "Oh, yeah, are you just trying to keep the focus on you? Like you just love the attention? That's what we think." He's like, that's no.
He's protecting his players.
Yeah. We get a highlight of USA beating West Germany. And that brings us to the medal round draw. It's USA versus the Soviets the next day at 1700 hours, as they say. And the one taking the questions from reporters this time is Coach Craig. Herb has Craig talk to the reporters while he goes on.
Herb's too busy.
Yep, he goes on a date with his wife. Is he a dick to her again in this scene? Because I feel like he probably is.
Kind of.
Probably.
He mostly he's very selfish. Like he's just like thinking about the game tomorrow and like he's trying to be nice to his wife and his kid, but he's not really paying attention to either one of them.
He's got 2 kids.
Yeah.
He has 2 kids. Yeah.
Not
cool, man.
Yeah. It's time for the game, and the USA Hockey Committee wants to come into the locker room, but Craig tells him no. And then Craig goes to OC and tells him, suit up, you're going tonight. It's like, yes, finally, sweet. Herb comes in and he gives the big inspirational speech, as all good sports movies have, which got me thinking we should probably keep track of who has the best inspirational speech from all these movies.
Well, I think we got our answer tonight.
Yeah.
Who has a great inspirational speech?
Is it Herb?
I think it's Herb, right?
Yeah.
I like how they do. One of the things I did like was when earlier he's like, I'm not a speech guy.
Yeah.
I'm just a coach. And then later he gives the greatest speech ever.
Yeah. So, oh shit, where'd I go? Yeah, the team lines up in the hallways. They're hitting the wall where all the letters from fans and people cheering him on are tied up or are pinned up on the wall. And then they go out onto the ice and the team comes out to chants of USA from the crowd. Place is going wild. And we get Al Michaels doing some more commentary, and it just reminds me how good Al Michaels is. He's so good.
He's a
He's
great
very good.
announcer.
Oh,
It's still bizarre to hear him as an old man doing this and then go back to him being like 20 years old, which is also insane because Al
was only-
Michaels calling hockey is weird, but also being like 20 years old.
It doesn't sound
Calling this-
that much different though. Like it does sound different, but
slightly. Yeah.
he sounds slightly more heavy. His voice sounds slightly heavier, if you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
when he
right.
when he's younger, he sounds like, I don't know, it sounds lighter. I know that's probably not the words that I'm looking for, but that's what
No, he's got a deeper voice as he gets older. But
yeah.
I mean, that guy's had a crazy career. I mean, think about it. This was like before Monday Night Football. I think he did this.
Yeah, we're 42 years later and he's still doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still doing it.
So the game starts, and the Soviets just keep getting control of the puck, and they're just peppering Jim with shots. After a blatant slash that was missed by the refs, the Soviets take a 1-0 lead. Jim is just standing on his head, keeping the U.S. in this.
Mhm.
He's locking everything left and right. OC comes on the ice for the first time, and he causes a turnover by the Soviets, which leads to a U.S. goal to tie it up. Johnson is skating up the ice. He almost gets in for a shot on goal, but he gets run up onto the net instead of in front of it. The Soviets come back down and score again, putting them up 2-1. It's almost the end of the first period. Jim is standing on his head again, keeping them like he's blocking like 15 shots every in between each goal. When all of a sudden Johnson gets a quick change on the ice with only a few seconds left, and he skates straight up the middle. He collects a rebound and scores as time expires. It's 2-2 at the end of the first period, and it's a huge boost to the USA.
Also really did happen that he scored right at the end of the period.
Wow.
They come back out for the second period, and the Soviets decide to change their goalie. They take out their 15-year veteran goalie and put in Michigan, who's probably just fantastic as well. But
also a great goal, yeah. But whenever I've talked to my dad about this game, who wasn't there but like obviously watched it like most of America, that's what he always comes back to, is he could not believe that they pulled the best goalie in the world. Like every single time we talk about it, he said, and they pulled their goalie. Like that's what he remembers about it, was they took out this stud goalie.
Yeah, it's like admitting defeat already. You're like, all right, well,
panicked. Herb says
to me,
they're panicked.
Yeah, this is like to punish him for giving up goals to the Americans, basically.
Yeah. In soccer, it's always like whoever makes the first substitution proves that like you needed to make the change first. That means your team's probably not doing as well as the other team. And this is that's always a big like pump up for your team if the other team's making their subs first. So to take out such a great goalie, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd it go? The U.S. takes this as a big boost as the goalie change. Then Harrington gets a breakaway, but he's stopped by the new goalie. And the Soviets come right back down, and Jim is making a save. He gets checked in the head and like hits his head off the ice as the Soviets score again to go up 3-2. Now this looks like it should be a penalty, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the
Probably.
70s?
Probably.
1980? Yes, it should be a penalty.
Probably.
But gotta let him play.
It's kind of like a Tua situation.
Oh God.
That was ugly to watch.
Yeah. The hands, like, and they just kept showing the repeats of it. It's like,
Fingers.
stop that. Stop showing the replay.
Stop showing those fingers.
Oh my God. Herb looks at his college goalie, Janny. I don't know if that's his real name, but
That's the shortened version of his name.
Oh, okay. And he's thinking about putting him in, but Jim gets up and he says he can stay and he just needs a minute to collect himself.
That's concussion protocol in 1980.
Yeah. The third period starts with the Soviets still up 3-2. The crowd is super hot though. They're like, the Americans are still in it. They can still do this. Herb tells them they've come from behind in every single game and that they've won so far. They can do it again.
Also true. True to life.
Yep. He asks them, "Who do you play for?" And they yell USA and go out there. And it seems like for the very first time, the USA wins the face-off against the Soviets. But then obviously they just start peppering Jim with shots again. Finally, the Soviets get a penalty for slashing. The US is able to get a few shots off during the power play when Jim gets the puck with 16 seconds left in the power play. They race back up the ice, and there's a great leading pass up to Johnson, who scores to tie it up 3-3 with a couple seconds left in the power play. The Soviet coach is looking both pissed as hell, but worried. He's looking just as worried as he's looking pissed. There's more shots at Jim, but again, he's not letting anything through. He's making save after save after save. When Buzzy dumps the puck into the Soviet end and Rizzo gets on the ice, he darts up the ice through the center and he gets a pass in the center from out wide. He shoots and he scores and he puts the US up 4-3. First lead of the game, first lead in what they say 20 years since the last time that they beat the Soviets. So
yeah, since the 1960 Olympics, I think, which was also in America.
Was it really?
It was Squaw Valley, California.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the crowd goes wild because the US is up. The team all run out onto the ice and celebrate with Rizzo. We finally see how much time is left, and there's 9 minutes remaining in this game.
That's a lot of time.
That's so much time.
It really is. 1 goal game. Yeah.
Yeah. The Soviets amp up the pressure. Jim is just stopping everything that they throw at him, though. And Herb tells his team short shifts to keep everybody fresh. He tells them 30 to 40 second shifts. The U.S. defense is basically hanging Jim out to dry. They're letting him get shot, hundreds of shots taken at him, but he's up to the task. The U.S. team is keeping up and skating faster than the Soviets. That's what the announcers are saying. They're like, it's surprising that the U.S. are able to go with the Soviets this late in the game. The Soviets, though, aren't pulling their goalie with less than a minute left. Herb says,
which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, Herb's like he doesn't know what to do. He's never been in this situation. So everyone is on their feet, like both benches, the whole crowd. And then I enjoyed this. Al Michaels' voiceover work is faded out into the original call. He says, 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes. And the team explodes off the bench as the crowd goes wild. We get Craig hugging Herb on the bench. The Soviets look on in disbelief after suffering the greatest upset in hockey and quite possibly sports history.
Mm-hmm.
Herb looks up at his wife and then he walks out of the rink to an empty hallway to cry.
Reminding me of Dirk when Dirk finally won the NBA title.
Oh, yeah.
He ran to the back because he didn't want anybody to see him crying. And then he came back out later for the trophy, like presentation. Like he just ran to the back by himself, and everyone's like, "Where is he? He's gone. What happened to him?"
So we get the narrator telling us 2 days later. Oh, it was Kurt Russell, wasn't it?
Yeah, Kurt Russell as Herb Brooks. Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, we won.
Yeah, 2 days later, USA beat Finland in comeback fashion again to win the gold. And he says that it was more than a hockey game for everyone who watched it and played in it, even though he said it, earlier in the movie, he was like, yeah, it's just a hockey game. Then Herb gives a speech about dream teams and how like things have changed.
Yeah, I do like when he says, ever since we had a dream team, we haven't won it. We haven't
Yeah.
captured the dream.
Yeah, and like it's harder for people to dream when we have these so-called dream teams, that kind of thing. As we watch the players celebrate on the medal stand, and that's Miracle.
Did you watch the
Miracle.
post credits at all?
No.
Yes, it did give like it does the where all these guys are now kind of thing.
Yeah, now, which is what 2000 whatever when this
Oh.
movie came out.
Yeah.
One guy was pursuing his bachelor's degree. He was a
I
student.
thought that was weird.
Oh yeah,
What?
I saw that.
But the rest of them were either money managers or property owners. Like they
Right.
like bought and sold properties, or they're money managers.
Yeah,
like
right.
and then one dude, Ramsey, I think, was actually like an assistant coach in the NHL, but that was it.
Yeah, there's one guy who's still an assistant.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me see. Okay, that was easy.
You did it.
I'm looking up the budget in the box office for you guys.
Okay.
All right. Do you want to guess at what the budget for this was?
25 mil.
All right, Bill says 25 mil.
65 million.
Wow,
Oh,
that's a
no.
big budget.
Yeah, this was a $28 million budget.
Ooh.
Nice.
Okay. Kurt Russell should have been more expensive.
What do you think this movie brought in the box office?
Probably not bad, right?
Does it say when it was released?
It was released on
2004.
February 20th, 2004.
Okay, so Olympic time.
Give me. Do I have to go first? I don't know. Give me 49 million.
50 million.
Okay.
No, I will say 60 million.
It is $64.5 million.
Ah, look at you. Look at you.
That's a pretty good box office.
That is, yeah, you
Not
made
bad.
what?
Made good
What did I
money.
say? 3 times as much almost?
Made good money.
At least 2.5.
Yeah.
And then we have the eBay wars.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Oh.
Put it up. I put a picture up. So this is a picture of the team
on our thing?
celebrating. Yep, celebrating after they won.
Ooh.
And on it, it has some autographs.
All the autographs.
Yes. So I will tell you the name, the full name of this entry is PSA Authentic Miracle on Ice, signed 16x20 photo, entire team, and Herb Brooks USA.
Ooh.
And
Yes.
Herb.
Um,
Good old Herb.
The
Herb.
description says authenticated by PSA, original photo signed by entire team and Herb. It's going to be difficult to ship inside the frame, but I'll do it. Plexiglass and linen mat with other accent memorabilia from that game, including a patch and a reproduction ticket stub.
Okay.
Miracle on Ice, signed 16x20 photo, entire team, and Herb Brooks USA. Now I'm going to put another picture in as well because
2 pictures.
Oh god damn it!
It's gonna be hard to ship.
Mm.
Okay, copy image. Well, yes, you're going to get a second picture because that first picture doesn't show you all this stuff that comes with it as well.
Letter of
It shows
authenticity, a ticket,
Yep. ticket
Winter
stub.
Olympic patch.
Yep. And then what looks like just a little tiny plaque of Do You Believe in Miracles? So, with all of that,
Okay.
we're going to have Bill go first since he's currently leading Ryan 1-0.
That's right, I am. My
Yeah.
initial thought is $100,000, but that might be a little high.
That seems high.
So I will adjust it and say this guy's asking $99 even.
Okay.
$250.
Okay. So neither of you are even close. You're both very far under. So Brian obviously wins.
Wow.
Would you like to take a second guess at this?
$100,000. My initial thought.
$1,500.
They're asking for US $3,999.99.
Baby.
Yes. Or $173 for 24 months with PayPal credit.
Oh,
Bill?
well now you got me
Now
thinking.
Bill,
Yeah.
you got the jersey already? You need this plaque.
I gotta buy the Adam, what's his name, jersey first though. Mighty Ducks jersey I still haven't bought.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
the
need
Adam
that.
Banks
You need the Adam Banks on the whatever.
Knights jersey. The Knights jersey.
Adam Banks on the Knights.
The Hawks, right?
No, the Hawks.
That's what it is.
The
you
Knights
doing?
are the soccer movie.
What are you
Yes.
doing?
I did have another one, which was a signed puck by Mike Erugione, but considering Bill's wearing an Erugione sweater, I was like, that doesn't like he's probably well aware how much these things cost. So I go with the
There was a story a couple years ago. I forget. I don't remember the details, but it was like Erugione was like selling off his like memorabilia from this, and it made me sad that he was like just dumping his stuff.
Yeah, that is sad.
Oh man! All right. Well, I win that. Congratulations to me. Quote Mountain.
Yes, Quote Mountain.
Do you believe in podcasts? Yes.
I mean, that's got to be it, right?
It's got to be. Do you believe in miracles? Yes.
Do you believe in podcasts? Sure, I'm fine with that. Just give it to
Are there
Al.
any other quotes that we liked though, other than
Plenty of Herb Brooks quotes, right? He had a lot of them.
Again.
Send them.
I like when they're talking about the Russians. Like, do these guys ever smile? And one of them goes, "The Russians, they get shot if they smile."
Oh.
Another one I like was, when you pull on that jersey, you represent yourself and your teammates. And the name on the front is a hell of a lot more important than the one on the back. Get that through your head.
Get that through your head.
I want to say his accent was pretty good.
Yeah. Minnesota accent.
Minnesota accent. Yeah. Wait. We're taxiing out to the runway, right? And we kind of hit a moose. No, the moose is fine, but we got to make sure
Kind of hit a moose.
Right. The moose is okay. He ran off. I saw it.
I like that.
So they
Cool
were, they were just taxiing. They weren't taking off or anything like that. So, the moose is definitely fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Stats and goofs. We've got a bunch of them. We've got water bottles were not kept on the nets for goalies in the 80s or even the early 90s.
Really?
People are wearing modern clothes like Under Armour and stuff in the background of the final game. Various goaltenders are shown wearing the wrong style blades on their skates. Jack O'Callahan wears a Harpoon Brewery shirt. It wasn't founded until 1986. There's a lot of equipment that's not accurate. The CCM helmets were not correct. Most players wore JOFA helmets. A lot of modern clothes sneaking in here. Things that were modern, like the license plates and stuff. Nothing really major, but
yeah.
Net design is not consistent. Like a lot of the upgraded hockey is what you see instead of the 80s hockey. So that's stats and goofs. Most valuable player of the movie.
Jim Craig.
Okay.
I mean, he's the most valuable player in real life, like I would say.
Sure,
so
but that doesn't always mean he's the most valuable player.
Al Michaels.
Okay.
His second appearance on our show.
Yeah, his first appearance was better, probably, but
for basketball, right? Yeah. God.
Something tells me he likes this movie more than basketball. Just gonna go out on a limb.
So
I give it to Al.
Al Michaels.
Give me Al. Or Herb or Kurt Russell. I don't know.
It was about Herb.
It was.
Herb Brooks is like Kurt Russell is the movie, but
yeah.
I go, yeah. Or Brooks it is then.
Fine. Final verdict. Where's this land?
I'm gonna say 7 even.
7.2.
That's fine. I'm fine with 7.2.
7.2.
I agree.
7.2.
7.2.
All right. So it's
Book it.
exactly as good as the Mighty Ducks.
Interesting.
That's weird. I love it. All right, Bill, you're our next review. What you
Do you
got?
want the
you want the
wheel
wheel?
to
You want to
spin for
spin
you?
a wheel?
Yeah, let's spin the wheel.
Let's spin the
Oh, I'm not
wheel.
ready if we need a basketball.
Spin a wheel. Meanwhile, eBay War. How much should I list this Bailey Zappi rookie card on eBay? That's a Bailey Zappi rookie.
Bailey Zappi rookie card? Well, if you won, it would have been like $300.
I'll give you 1,000 guesses to tell me where Bailey Zappi went to college.
I heard him
Current-
say it. I still don't remember.
Current
I don't know who that
Patriots
is.
player.
Oh,
So
Illinois?
Mac Jones was hurt. He was replaced by Brian Hoyer. Brian Hoyer was hurt, replaced by this guy, Bailey Zappi. Patriots current quarterback, Bailey Zappi. Where did he go to school?
Michigan.
I'll
Did he
say
go to-
Texas. He's in Texas. It's a school in Texas.
Oh, Texas.
You'll never get it. I'll give you 1,000
UTEP.
guesses.
TCU.
Houston Baptist.
Oh. Nope.
Sure.
Do you even know that
So-
was a thing?
Bill, since you just did a baseball movie, would you like me to spin it again?
Yeah. So-
Is that what came up? Because I can do baseball again. We've done 2 baseball, 2 hockeys, 2 footballs now. So I
Mhm.
could do another one, but it does. I don't care.
All right. If you want to do it, you got a good one. Go ahead.
Is that what we're doing?
It's fine.
It's up to you. I can either spin it again for you, or if
If
want
you
to
got
do a
one,
baseball.
then go for it. Why not?
All right. I can. Well, let me just real quick make sure it's available to watch because I do have one.
Your second choice was miscellaneous, so
Okay. I could do either one. Let me just see if there's a way to watch this.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Should I steal Bull Durham?
Oh,
No.
don't steal.
Okay, this apparently is available to watch for free on Peacock, YouTube, or Tubi.
That's not a
3
good
for
sign.
3. That's not bad. That's not good.
We're gonna go from this movie to not quite as serious, back to a kids movie.
Okay.
We're gonna watch Rookie of the Year.
Okay.
Also on Disney Plus. Rookie of the Year.
Is it?
Rosenbagger. Runamucker.
Yeah. We get Daniel Stern finally, overdue for an appearance, in my opinion.
So overdue. Dan Stern. Love it. If you have my HBO Max, I have one movie bookmarked. It's Bushwhacked. Daniel Stern's
Oh yeah.
Bushwhacked.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
It always pops up every time I open HBO Max. I'm like, the day will come. The day will come, Bushwhacked, when I watch you. All right. What is it again? Rookie
Are
of the
your kids
Year.
old enough for that yet, or no? Not yet.
I was gonna watch it to see. It's
Yes.
close. It's close, I think. All right. Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year. We're gonna watch because I had to double check because I'm sure at some point we'll cover them both, but I wanted to watch this as opposed to Little Big League.
So Rookie of the Year is the one where the kid breaks his arm and then can throw like
Yes.
And becomes a pitcher. Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Do you know
That's
that who's the actor in this movie? What's his name
Richie
again?
Rich?
Oh, I don't
No, that was
remember.
Macaulay
I don't know.
Culkin.
No, it's the same guy as the American Pie movies.
Jason Biggs.
No.
Oh
Really?
no, yeah, it's his friend. You're right.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
guy.
yeah.
I have no idea what his name is, but I know who you mean.
Met him. Met this guy.
Oh,
I
yeah?
met Rookie of the Year. I know Rookie of the Year. I've met him. That's crazy.
I know Thomas Nicholas.
Thomas
Two-
Nicholas. Met him.
2 first names. Okay. 2 first names.
Thomas
I just
Nicholas.
realized that this is my 4th movie now that I'll be leading the charge on, and it is my 3rd baseball movie, and that is not on purpose.
Wow.
Oh, right, because you did. Yeah, you did.
Field
Sandlot?
of Dreams is also Spin the Wheel, Make a Deal, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Might have
it
been.
was.
Might have been. Might have been. All right. That's
You
it.
could have went miscellaneous. That was your second.
We've got
option.
it.
I got one lined up there.
We got it. We're in.
Mhm.
Rookie of the Year. Great movie. Seen it a lot.
Yep.
Seen it a lot. It's
I
great.
haven't seen it in a long time. But
been a long
I've definitely
time.
seen
It's a
it.
good one. Solid. All right. That's it. We're out of here. Peace.